One of the things we've railed on for years around here is the fact that timeshares are legalized fraud. 85% of all timeshare buyers regret their purchase, yet cannot cancel it due to a short rescission window. 95% of timeshare buyers go back to their resort sales team for more information within 1 to 3 days. On Trustpilot, Marriott Vacation now has a 1.3 stars out of 5. According to ARDA, the maintenance fees go up 17.5% a year, and $50 million in losses last year alone to the elderly, the AARP says, for timeshares. The timeshare business is absolutely a billion-dollar fraud. The whole thing has been screwing primarily the elderly, but also those of you that are silly enough to walk in there for a, quote, free vacation, and then they lock you in a hot box for 5 hours until you agree to sign. And we tell you over and over and over again to stay away from these people. They're slimy. They're crooks. It's a horrible business. I hope I've not been unclear. So I was really happy to get a call the other day from U.S. Senator John Curtis, Utah's senator, and he has a bill coming up before the Senate to regulate the freaking timeshare business, finally. So we've become instant friends because of that, and I asked him to come on and talk about his bill. Senator Curtis, thanks for joining us.
Dave, I can't tell you how much I enjoyed your intro. I love your passion. Thank you for being so passionate about this. I am honored to be co-conspirator with you in reining in this terrible, terrible problem.
So what got you on the timeshare thing? Why did you decide to do this?
You know, over time, I've heard from so many people, and it kind of came to a head when a good friend reached out to me and said, look, you're in the Senate. Why don't you do something about this? And so, you know what? He's right. I sat down with my team and we started thinking about what we could do to put some guardrails on this.
So the bill has now officially been introduced.
That's correct.
When you and I talked a few months ago, you just had it drafted, and we were able to talk about it on the phone, and you were showing me what it was going to cover. And I particularly like several of the things that the bill does. Talk about the items in the bill to limit the timeshare world.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. First of all, you should know what you're buying. There should be transparency. Second of all, you should know if there's going to be radical changes to what you've bought. And third of all, you should be able to change your mind within a agreed upon period of time. And then let's face it, if 85% of the people regret getting into it, there needs to be some way for them to get out of it. And that's a simplification of what the bill does.
Yeah. One of the things I saw in there was it grants the buyers a 14-day penalty-free cancellation period, which I've been trashing the timeshare business, and they've been coming back at me, have sued me and done everything else all over for decades now. It's a horrid business, and from my understanding of talking with those guys, a 14-day penalty-free cancellation period will cut their sales by 70%. You'll probably put them out of business.
Well, listen, if any business is dependent on getting people to do something they don't want to do, then they perhaps should go out of business. Now, my goal is not to put them out of business, right? My goal is just to make it so people can trust what they're getting into. You well know that a lot of these people are on vacation. Oh, they're away from their children, their financial advisors, their lawyers, and then they do these deals. And by the time they get around those people who generally give them advice, it's too late.
Yeah, there's no backing out. And there's no way to sell the stupid thing because nobody wants to buy them. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them for sale on eBay for $1.
Yeah, and the reason is they now come with this liability of these monthly or annually fees that are so exorbitant, far greater than any amount of money that you could spend and have a really great vacation. And that's why they're worthless.
Yeah, I mean, $13,000 will buy you a lot of freaking Hilton. Hello? I mean, come on, people. And then you mortgage it, too. You mortgage air, because you're not even getting real estate. There's no title here. You have a 2-week stay, maybe, probably not, at the place they told you it would be. And then you want, oh, you can go to Hawaii. Nah, never happening. That's the biggest line of crap. It never occurs. Okay, so the bill has been introduced. What are the next stages, and what can our listeners do to help you protect the public from this industry?
This is where I need their help. I know that the size of your audience, if even a fraction of those call their senator and say, please hop on the Timeshare Transparency Act, that's what I need. I need more senators to join me. You know, this battle is pretty lonely. And right now, you and I are feeling pretty alone on this. We need senators engaged, and we need people to call their senators and say, look, I've had one of these bad experiences. Please support this bill.
That's simple. Just so
That's
if you're listening to this and you know somebody's been screwed by a timeshare, or you have, and you think a 14-day waiting period is at least fair, I would be, that's a minimum. But the impact of this will be a mandate disclosure of all fees and notice requirements and all the changes, and dadgum 17% increase on average every year in the maintenance fees. See, that stuff needs to be disclosed up front.
That's all we're asking is transparency. If people still want to make that decision and they know all of these things and have a reasonable amount of time to get out of it, fine. But as you well know, most of the people wouldn't sign up for that if they were given the time and the space to make a good decision.
Right. And AARP has actually come out in support of the bill. They've endorsed it, right?
I actually spoke with them just a few minutes ago. They enthusiastically supported, and sadly, you mentioned this, many of the people that get into these are our seniors. And like I say, they're away from their normal support structure when they get into these very, very high pressure sales techniques. They maybe make a bad decision and then they don't have a window to change that decision. That's just wrong.
Yeah. And you're not actually buying anything, so you can't sell it. And yet you have debt on it. I swear, one attorney that does the exits on this calls it legalized fraud, and I don't disagree with him. I completely agree with that. So the Timeshare Transparency Act is live and well in the Senate. Senator John Curtis from Utah has introduced it, and he needs some cover from you people in the audience. So reach out, ping your senator, send him an email, give him a call, whether you know him or not, and just say, hey, you need to back Senator John Curtis's Timeshare Transparency Act, because I got to tell you, this business is full of money, and they will be throwing a serious battle up to not be forced to give transparency. This is when icky politics starts working right here. Icky, sticky mess. And so Senator Curtis is right. They're going to come at him. They've been coming at me for years. I'm used to it. And just bring it, buddy. Bring it. I hate you people. I'll take it. I'll come on. That's fine. But I think you suck. But anyway, he's being a lot more diplomatic because he's a U.S. senator and I'm just a podcaster. So, but you guys, reach out to him, reach out to your senator, reach out to your congressman, because it'll have to go through Congress as well. And just let's get some political cover on this from the consumer base to protect the consumer. That's simple. And in the meantime, stay out of those places. Just stay away from them. Snakes bite. Don't pick up snakes. Why is this hard? These guys are unbelievable. So, Senator Curtis, thank you so much for taking your time to join us, brother.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for your support.
And thanks for what you're doing to get this bill on the floor. The Timeshare Transparency Act. Yeah. In other words, if you could see what these people were doing, no one would do it. No. That's how this works. I mean, come on. This is really not hard. So check it out, guys. We've been saying around here forever, timeshares suck. Hector wrote in, he said, I'm 26 years old. I currently have about $13,000 in debt for Hilton Honors. Timeshare. The timeshare has been a major burden. I'm paying $218 a month, plus over $1,200 in maintenance fees every January. Honey, you could have stayed in a nice hotel for less. A lot. I realize it was a mistake, and I'm looking for a way out. I have no way out. You're right. You're stuck. You're screwed.
Dave, the thing I'm struggling with here is I don't really know where you stand on timeshares.
Man. Yeah, Hilton bought, was it Diamond? I got into it, the guy running Diamond on the air. I was doing a Twitter fight with him a while back, Mikey, and he got fired finally, and he was the president of the company, and I was just taking him down because he's such a slime ball. And so Hilton buys that company for like $1 billion. And so now Hilton has absorbed Diamond. And so what all these Diamond timeshares, which are really particularly scummy, they now are under the brand name of Hilton. Hilton's damaged their own brand with this. It was a legitimate brand, and now they delegitimize themselves.